Hey, everybody. I'm going to wait until a few more people come on in. Good evening. Good evening. See if I can see something here. Start a poll. Ask a question. Do you or someone you know live with a mental health condition? We'll put that in a poll, start poll. Put a poll inside there. See if we can't activate some chats here now. Hey everybody, it's Chef Frank. I'm so glad you guys are here. Good evening. Welcome to the other side of the house. This is the basement office. And it is like officially, well, we're in the middle of June, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And I wanted to add my thoughts on this, being in the hospitality industry my entire life. A lifer. I broke away to do some sales in fitness memberships for 2 years back in the 90s. But other than that, it's been hospitality in one regard or the other, from anything from busting suds in a dish room to running multiple mansions with high stakes catering. And now being a content creator, doing cooking videos, food videos, travel videos, it's all hospitality. So I think I just want to shed some light on living with a mental health condition. It's the cool thing is it's not as taboo as it once was. More people are seeking help. More people are living healthy, productive lives with mental health conditions. It's trending, special months, or even counseling and therapy isn't as taboo as it once was, and these are all good things. So it's really important for me to share my journey with mental health. I think it's important to add my voice. We're scaling. I'm getting older. I'm married to the wife of my dreams. And I'm a YouTuber. Like, I'm literally YPP. That means I work for YouTube right now, along with some other things that we're doing. No, I'm not Haitian. I'm half Bayesian, and I'm also half Jamaican. Kingston, Jamaica is where my roots come from, and Bayesian, Barbados. I'll be in Barbados actually in a couple of weeks. We'll be there for a family reunion. I'll be celebrating my father's 85th birthday in the land where my family is, and also kind of like my grandmother. We're going to commemorate her 100th birthday, but now she's with the Lord. She's passed. But so mental health, I want to talk about this. I think especially in my industry, it's not as talked about in the hospitality industry, which is kind of sad. If this is your first time to the channel, please subscribe in. We want to have real-time community. You see my videos, it's not just cooking, it's real-time chat and stuff like that. But, in my industry, addiction is rampant. And if you see addiction, then if you look a little closer behind the addiction, you're probably going to be somebody looking at somebody with a mental health condition. And years ago, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And I was asked a question. I see you right here in chat. I'm glad you're here. Let me know in the polls, do you or someone you know, if it's you, it's okay. Use this community time to talk with each other. But I was diagnosed with bipolar. And it was actually, I was relieved as much as I was scared by that diagnosis. I didn't know what it meant, but it sure did answer a whole lot of questions for me. Questions like why I can be up one day and down the next. Why I can be vibing so high on the energy scale one day, and the next moment I'm like down in the dumps. Or why I was so toggling between two very intense emotions, happy and sad. And when I got that answer, I was able to decompress, exhale, and get some help. Now, I also come from addiction, and I openly put this out there. I'm glad, just chime in the comments. I'm glad you're here. Addiction was a huge part of my story. And people who are bipolar, once they get diagnosed and get the mental health help behind it and start a mental health regimen of wellness, they start to see that the addiction was a way of managing their polars, to try to find that balance. But what it did was it kept you at these extremes. And if you found that balance for a second, you're only there for a moment and it didn't last. And one thing that I really hated about my condition, bipolar, and coming off of addiction. So here, let me just say real quick, okay? I am going on 22 years sober, clean, okay? So I don't drink, I don't drug. There's a lot of freedom happening in my life today. And because of that, I'm living the life that I always want to live. But the thing that I hated the most was treating people that I love in unloving ways. It wasn't what I wanted to do, but it was all that I knew how to present. I was so hurt. And what would happen is I would act out with somebody, I would treat them rude, and then I'd get down on myself, and I'd get so down in the dumps that I needed something to pick me up. And that's where that addiction came in. So all these years later, I want to talk about solutions, okay? Do you or someone you know suffer with bipolar disorder or anxiety or depression or you name it, the list goes on and on. If you do, you're not alone. And we can live productive lives. Now, like it says in the title, June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, amongst other things. And I want to talk to people with in the industry, like the chefs or the waiters and waitresses. My goodness, guys. I mean, let's talk about the bartenders. Let's talk about the managers with all the stress of getting it right, not only for the employees, but for the customers, and dealing with all kinds of personalities. Like in an 8, 10, 12-hour shift, you almost have to be all things to all people. It's remarkable. He says we look alike. That's my picture. That is me. That's funny. You're going through withdrawals, Kevin. Hang in there, brother. We do this together. Hang in there, Kevin. Subscribe to the channel. So you're dealing with all these people and their problems and their issues, but you get paid to hold it all together. It's just remarkable that you have to hold it all together and be that source of balance for your team. So what tends to happen in my industry, and I'm not outing us, I am full industry guy. I'm all about hospitality, from the front of the house to the back of the house, right? From the suit and tie to the chef coat. What happens is we leave those spaces, we leave the hotels, we leave the restaurants, the catering halls, we leave the nightclubs, we leave, okay, let's go all hospitality, the resorts, right? We leave that space and we're so drained from giving all of ourselves to strangers to get it right. And then we get home, okay? And if you're married, right, then if you don't have some type of regimen or plan or wellness plan, things typically don't go the way you always want them to go. So that's where wellness comes in. So I have a question. Tell me in chat right now. I see 61 of you guys jumped in the vote, but do you have any strategies that you use to keep balance throughout the day if you have a mental health condition? Like, what is your wellness plan? I made a list earlier today. I was planning for a video on YouTube. I was cooking a couple of steaks and I did some sweet potatoes and some broccoli, but the video didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, so I deleted it. It sucked. I was planning for it, but here we are now having beautiful community. The best way to stop addiction is to start another addiction. No, well, if you're talking about like stopping drugs and going to weightlifting or something like that, that can work for the minute. But the best way is to, find that balance in the chemicals in your brain to have a more balanced life. But I made a list of things I wanted to share in the cooking video earlier. I did some of this on Instagram earlier. Hospitality rock stars, subscribe to our channel. And I want to read off some of the things that I put down on my list here, everybody. I'm glad you're here, whether you got jokes, whether you're taking this seriously. I love you all. Like, I care. Like, I really do care. I mean, this is who I am. The same guy that I am right now, the same guy you see cooking live videos, the same guy that you see doing shorts, eating food or marketing restaurants, is the same guy that my wife gets today. And she deserves that. My bride deserves the best version of me. And guess who else deserves the best version of me? I deserve the best version of me. Think about that. We sometimes give people things, the best version of ourselves, and we're not giving that to ourselves, and that has to change. I believe that there's a lot of breakthrough happening in the mental health community. I know that my regimen is working for me with the things that I do to maintain wellness, but I made a list of things that I want to read off. If these chime in with you, give me a thumbs up in the comment and shoot me in the chat. Shoot me a thumbs up. How about today being the first day of like summer? Like, it was the longest day of the year. Oh my gosh, man, I love summer. It's just so like chill. Thank you, Seth. I appreciate that. I am. It is just it fits. It's short sleeve, but it is freaking the first day of summer. So now we have all this daylight. It's time to travel, get outside, garden, bike ride, skateboard, weightlift, go to some outside restaurants, stuff like that. Natural light works for me. I'm in my office now. My kitchen's upstairs. I'm in the office. I have all these lights on. I can't turn them all on, or you're going to see all kinds of weird stuff. But light, natural light, sunlight in the morning with my cup of coffee is a great way to jumpstart me before I start praying. Matt Hava, I'm not ignoring you. I see you. I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Tell me, let me see. I want to see something. I broke in my pot addiction, but I'm depressed. I hear you. I'm so glad you broke that addiction. What I would suggest is finding community, which is also on my list. Let me go through the list, Matt Hava. I hope I'm saying your name right. 22 years, like no drugs, no alcohol, just me, raw feelings, me. Natural Light works. I love exercises. I have a small gym over there. My wife uses it. I use it. I lift weights. I do it with some of my clients. We lift. I got to breathe, like breathing exercises as well. Breathing, like sitting still and breathing something like this. Not just like really feel this. Let me go back here. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Try it with me, honestly. Let me tell you what that's doing. Breathing's on my list. What I'm doing, I feel it right now. I feel this liftedness, a little lightheadedness, right? A little light buzz. I just force my blood to carry oxygen to my brain. That clears me out for better thinking. I also reset my frontal limbic system where I can think rationally, make decisions not just based on emotion. I can make a more clear decision, not just an emotional based decision. So that's what breathing does. It's a major reset. Speaking of reset, rest. Now, in my industry, rest is not like 9 to 5. Some people say, thank God it's Friday. Not in the hospitality industry, friends. I'm telling you, our Monday is your Friday, right? Our Sunday night is your Friday because we're closed on Mondays and Tuesdays to get ready for the rest of the week when we're serving people all over the planet. So whatever your 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of rest look like, get that rest. If you need help, I started taking magnesium. Oh my goodness. Now it costs a little bit of money. You can get it in powder form, mix it with water, but it really just helps you do one of these numbers. It walks you down to a space where you can rest before you sleep. So grateful I have somebody who doesn't judge. I will not judge you, my friend. I will not judge. I will not judge anyone on this platform. No way. There's no way. We're in it together. The whole thing about our community is we're in it together. Whether I'm traveling to the other side of the world, upstairs to my kitchen, or to my deck where I do live grilling, we're in it together. Hydration. I sip B12 and some vitamins literally all day long. Excuse me, I got a little parched. Hydration is crazy important, okay? Walking in nature. I mean, literally, take your phone for safety, to snap a picture of a bird or to capture a tree or a cloud, but let nature reset you. Like walk, find a trail, like grab a friend. Yeah, magnesium. Yeah, try magnesium. It's good. Feels much better. Okay, so meditation. What is that? Is that just sitting around going like this? No, meditation is literally, I'm going to show you something real quick, guys. Listen. Listen to this just briefly. Vibe with me, guys. Welcome to the channel. Subscribe, please. Watch our content. You hear this? This is spa. Just sit. Let thoughts come in. Let them go. Let thoughts come in. Let them go. Like what's heavy? What's weighing you down in this moment? What's too much for you to bear by yourself? This is a chef talking like this, right? This is recovery. I thank God for this. What's weighing you down? Turn this down. So meditation, here's another one. And this is something that doesn't happen often in my industry. A healthy diet. I'll leave that right there. Nobody does it perfect. I don't care. As healthy as you can get it. Limit your media. Stop watching the crappy lies on news. It's all crap. You want a news story, go to YouTube, scan the story, get the headline, and real quick swipe on it. Just don't let it rent space in your head. Here's another one. This is my list of things that I can do daily to help me have a better day. Honesty, practice honesty. Hey Frank, how you doing? I've been better. I've also been worse. Or today's not the best day, but I'm glad to know that there's always a tomorrow. You understand? A big one for me, no drugs and alcohol. Nothing against social drinkers. I'm not here to judge people that smoke marijuana. I'm not here to do that. I'm talking about for this guy right here, no drugs or alcohol. That's me. What do you think, guys? Tell me in the chat. Physical touch. That's one of my love languages. There's 5 love languages. Let me see if I can't do this. There's 5 love languages. There's physical touch. There's acts of service. There's quality time. There's words of affirmation. And then there's gifts. I did it. Those are the 5 love languages. Mine are words of affirmation. Oh, someone says, man, you did a good job, Frank. Or man, that was dope. That was powerful. My tank goes, whoop. Oh, I fill right up. And physical touch, like, I love a good hug. I love a good hug, right? COVID hurt a lot of people. Couldn't touch people, couldn't dap them, couldn't go in. It was a good day when we can hug again, right? dap people up. Physical touch is big. Find out what your love language is. What is your love language? What makes you feel appreciated by your spouse, your best friend, your girlfriend, your boyfriend? What makes you feel your parents? What makes you feel appreciated by them? Is it when they give you something? Is it when they say something positive to you? Is it when they do something for you? Is it when they spend time with you? Is it when they give you good hugs? Find out what your love language is, and don't be afraid to let your partner know what they are. Most people have two, a dominant and a lesser one. I mentioned community earlier. Glad you're here. So glad you're here. Community is huge. Find your tribe and use your tribe. Zoom meetings, whatever you got to do, use your tribe. Reading Psalms. You can read it whatever you want. For me, I love breaking out the book and reading some Psalms. It's balm to me. Music. I got it playing now. It really sets the mood. I coach men. My wife coaches women. I always have, and I coach men in person or Zoom or phone calls internationally. But I always have a low vibe music playing, even when I'm seeing people in my office. It sets the tone. Music is powerful. Here's another one for you. Obeying the law. Obeying the law is a strategy that anyone can use to let you know that, you're not a renegade. You're not you can be rebel spirit. I get that, like a moving shaker. But obeying the law helps me to understand that there's guardrails in life for my safety, right? Faith, a strong, abiding faith in God. Now, I'm not shoving nothing on you. I'm talking about myself, a strong, abiding faith in God. I love to journal, and sometimes I don't want to journal. I get so filled up. This is another one. Journaling is important for me to express what's going on the inside of me. Just like creating content, that's on my list as well. Creating content, slapping on the video, and having community while doing something that we all can get around, whether it's travel or cooking or things like that. And then the last one on my list is being careful as to what my eyes look at after 11 o'clock at night on social media. I'll leave that just like that. So my question I would ask you is what are some ways you found to improve your own mental health and wellness? I wonder what somebody would say to that. My sister's one of those crazy homeless people raving in the streets and drug addicted. She's already screwed over everyone in the family. I'm so sorry to hear that. We look alike. You grab my picture. I broke in my pot of dick. Yes, going through withdrawals right now, Kevin. Amen. Amen, man. Amen. That's part of the way up and out. How is the best way to break addiction? Really, what I learned is you got to get to the roots. You just can't say if this is a cigarette. And if I'm smoking a cigarette, and I broke that addiction years ago, the best way isn't just to put it out and never go to it again. The best way is to hit the roots. I went to school for this. It's called Deep Clean. It's fantastic. Find out what it is that you were looking for, whether it's drugs or alcohol, sex, whatever that thing, gambling. What are you looking for? What is lacking inside of you? What is that root? Find the root. Here's a quick saying for you. Change the root, change the fruit. Bipolar. That's, let me raise my hand and come out right now in the month of June. I'm living a health and wellness life. I'm living a great life with bipolar disorder. Well managed, well taken care of. Take care of your mental health. And if I can do something to help, find me on Instagram, jump in the DM, right? Jump in the DM. You can find me at Frank_Goodrich or Hospitality Rockstars. There's two, by the way, on Instagram. One is a German company. They don't even use the site anymore. Find me. You see a picture of me with a knife like this. Find me. Let's have community on Instagram. DM. We'll share the strategy. So community is important, and we can live successful lives and take care of our mental health as well. Guys, this is true for us. Don't bounce from addiction to addiction to addiction, or person to person to person. Land and find yourself. Give yourself a chance to have a life beyond your wildest dreams. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. We'll be cooking this weekend. In the next 2 weeks, I'm going to take you all to Barbados with us. We're going to Barbados. We got some fun stuff planned for you there. Give us a super thanks. We're going to get an island in my kitchen, and your super thanks will help out tremendously with that. It's fantastic. I have a nice high camera. I'll show you everything that I learned in this field over all these years. I bring my best recipes to my community here on YouTube. Love you guys so much. Thanks for chiming in. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Take care.